What's going on, people? It's your boy Marv, and this is the Nerds in the Hood. Folks, I am going to do a movie review. I am going to attempt to do this movie review without crying because the movie I just saw made me cry, but it made me ugly cry. You know, when you get that ugly cry going, that's in your soul, that's in your chest right here, that's in your spirit, you know what I'm saying? So just forgive me if I start to cry. I'm gonna edit it so it won't show me crying, you know what I'm saying? We nerds in the hood, we gotta act all tough and stuff even though we nerds. But for those of you who are joining us today, I appreciate y'all watching this video. And as always, before I begin and continue, please like, share, subscribe, and comment to Nerds in the Hood. Check us out on all social media. The link is in the description below. Now, I have to talk about this movie. This is actually a movie that is on streaming services. I was going to use my AMC stubs. I was going to get my Movie Pass moving on, but I found out it was on Amazon Prime, so I could watch it from the comfort of the crib. So I decided to check this movie out. It is an anime film called Look Back. And oh boy, this movie is heavy, folks. This is a heavy film. This is not your typical power-up film. It's not your slice of life film where they're just like talking about love and relationships. It's none of that. It's not anything to do with mechas or robots or monsters or anything. It's slice of life, but it's heavy. It is heavy. And it is from, let me check my notes here. It is from the legendary Fujimoto Tatsuki. If you don't know who he is also the author of the critically acclaimed Chainsaw Man. So you already know it's going to be heavy because Chainsaw Man is dark, and this has its dark moments too. So this movie is only 59 minutes. It's not very long. It's a short film, but it's based off of a one-shot manga that he made. Now, for you sitting at home wondering, I'm watching this video about anime, but I know nothing of manga. Manga is basically Japanese comics. It is their equivalent of what we read here in America. They read it from the right to the left. So they read it from the opposite side. They read it from the right to the left, just like we read it from the left to the right. And they have different types of manga, but this was called a one-shot manga. Now, most manga are in volumes and chapters. A one-shot manga is one story that is told in a good amount of pages it needs to tell it, and that's it. That's all you get. Somewhere around 60 pages or so, and it tells a story and it's done. It's a short story basically. This is their short story, and I gotta give props first off. To G Kids. G Kids Films is one of the people who distributed this movie. One of the people who had something to do with helping in the production of the film. They've been on their grind lately. I just saw another commercial. I think it was called Anzo the Cat or something like that. It's supposed to be coming in theaters soon. I think this week, by the time you see this video. But they've been on their grind, and these are the type of movies that I like. And I'll bring that up in another video at another time, but I'll just briefly say, these are the type of movies that I don't mind going to the theater for, even though it's only an hour, because these are the movies with actual original stories. They don't trick you and give you a title, and then later you come to find out it's the first several episodes of the anime that's going to release sometime later in the year, and you just spent a whole movie ticket, popcorn ticket, and whatever else ticket to go watch the first 3 to 4 episodes of an anime series. You know who you are, and I'm saving you for another video. I'm not going to take time to talk about it here. Anyway, this movie, long story short, so there will be some spoilers ahead. Long story short, this movie is about 2 girls. One girl, we'll just say her name is Fujino. We'll just keep it at that. And a friend that she later meets named Kiyomoto. Now, Fujino is in the elementary school, and she's like, you know, pretty cool. She makes like kind of manga. She makes little manga for the school newspaper. People kind of rock with it. They like, yo, this manga's kind of cool, y'all. I rocks with this. You know what I'm saying? And she was feeling herself. And then one day there was a kid in the school who made a manga just like her, but the manga was better. It had better drawings, just a lot of better stuff. And she was like, oh snap, yo, this kid is cooking me. And the kid kept cooking her. So she gave up on manga. And when she finally graduated from elementary school, the teacher wanted her to deliver a diploma to this kid who actually was now realizes in her class too. It's just the kid wasn't coming to school because she was like scared to come outside the house and all that stuff. So she brings the diploma over to homie and was like, yo, they told me to bring this diploma to you, but you ain't coming outside, so I'm just gonna drop it here, like you wild weird. That last part was me. Anyway, she goes outside, but then she draws something for her just to say like, yo, just like a little friendship drawing, just draw something real quick. And then the kid, Kiyomoto, comes outside and was like, yo, I didn't even know you was drawing that manga. Yo, your joint is wavy, B. Your joint is a vibe. What's up? Like, let's link up. And homegirl was like, oh, I don't know about all that. But then she realized, like, wait, you feeling my work? She was like, yeah, your work is solid. Yo, what's good? Next thing you know, one thing leads to another. They a squad now. Now they besties. Every day they chilling. They the city girls of manga. You know what I'm saying? Period. So now they became good friends. They grow up. They make a dope manga series at the age of 13. Right? At teenage age. They make a dope manga series, starts blowing up, becomes like runner-up in some contests. They get even more popular and make their own manga series. And then Kiyomoto's like, nah, I'm trying to go to college, though. I got dreams. I don't want to just be like your assistant. I'm trying to be like the one, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be the MC in this story. So she was like, nah, don't go to college, B. You can work for me forever. Like, we gonna run this town. Nah, she goes to college, and unbeknownst to anybody, there was a student there that wilds out, boom, gets upset, goes on a bodying spree, starts catching bodies with a pickaxe, just starts wilding. And Kiyomoto was unfortunately one of the people. You see, I'm trying to hold it in because that part really got me. And they really get artistic with it. And I that part I'll leave out as how they get artistic with everything. But the animation is really, really nice. It looks just like it almost looks like Chainsaw Man. Also, there is a nod to Chainsaw Man in their actual story, because now Fujino is not waiting for Kiyomoto. She makes her story, and I believe it's called Shark Kick. And the character she makes literally looks like Denji. You have another character in there that's basically Power. So it's just a nod to the creator's other work. That's all it is. But I was reading, and the whole situation with homegirl in the college getting unfortunately taken out, I think it was taking similarities to what happened in 2019. There was an incident in an art studio known as Kyoto Animation, where this dude just pulled up, started wilding, and set off a whole arson in the building, and he took out people too, and it was messed up. And he did it all because he felt like the studio was plagiarizing his work. So instead of like trying to take him to court or anything, he just burns the building down with people in it, which is crazy. So it's a similar situation in the movie where the dude felt like his work was being plagiarized, and he starts just going off wilding on people. But it is, outside of me telling you that story, it is a real solid, emotionally heavy work, because it basically deals with just the element of like fear, and the element of regret, and the element of what if, and the different elements that involve friendship, and sometimes having to make those difficult decisions that could alter a good friendship. I know that, right? Look at me. If you know, you've been following the show. There was 3 other people sitting next to me, and now there's just me. Did it alter our friendship? Somewhat. Does that hurt a little? Of course. But you understand that decisions have to be made in order to either propel yourself or make the necessary changes for everybody. And at the end of the day, that was the changes that they had to make in this story. Fujino tried to tell her friend like college ain't the move, and it started eating at her once she lost her friend forever, because she was like, this is all my fault. You know what I'm saying? If I never drew that manga panel, if I never gave that, if she never got that, she would have never came outside the crib. Like, I would have never brought her outside. Because the whole reason Kiyomoto stayed away from school was because they didn't really address it fully. I think it was just like Shorty just was had social anxiety or something like that. She just was scared to come outside. And when she finally took the leap that she was supposed to take, it worked for the most part until she got to college, which is not her fault. And it wasn't Fujino's fault. It was just a freak accident. But it was just some of the things that go hand in hand with that, of just the element of life. Like it could happen at any time, and it sucks. The other thing I took away from this is how grueling it is to be a manga artist, and not in a bad way. Don't get me wrong. A shout out to every person that has made a manga wherever you are in the world. If you made that joint and it popped, shout out to you. If you made it and it didn't pop, it's cool. You did something that I would never do. Shout outs to you. But every time, one of my favorite mangas is One Piece, right? It's one of my favorite mangas. But every single time you get into the real story of One Piece and you start loving it every single week, especially if you're caught up to where they're at currently, he has to stop. The author, Oda, has to stop and take a break because of his health. Because the manga business is tough. It's tough health-wise. It's mentally and physically excruciating. The work they have to do, the drawing, the way they got to be precise, the hours they spend staying up trying to make the great manga so they don't fall off the mountaintop that they just climbed up. It's tough. Don't get me wrong. Entertainment is tough. It's tough to make a podcast. It's tough to make a rap album. It's tough to play sports. You know what I mean? It's tough to star in movies or TV shows. But it's just something about being a manga artist that always sounds like they doing the most. I don't often hear about Marvel Studios or Marvel Comics Studios taking breaks like that at all. Like, I don't often hear that. I could be wrong. I don't hear about an actor being like, yo, I just did this one movie. Now I'm going to take like a 3-week break and then do another movie. Usually they do one movie and they're like, yo, we about to shoot off to Japan and do this other movie. Manga artists would be like, yo, I just did like 2 chapters back to back. Forgive me, y'all. I'll be back in 2 weeks. You like, yo, but that was just 2 chapters though. Hold on. You can't do that cliffhanger and I don't see you for 2 weeks. What's going on? But you learn when you get older, that's the health of it. And in this movie, these 2 girls were trying to be dope manga artists, and you could see the toll it was taking on them every single time. Shorty was a kid in school, and her friends was like, yo, we don't even see you no more. You know what I mean? Like, what's good? Like, where you be at? And she was like, I'm drawing. They're like, yo, bro, like, fam, come on out. Like, hang out with us. And when she first gave up on manga drawing, her friends was like, yo, we lit, let's go. And she was just enjoying life. And that was it. But then once her other friend decided like, yo, let's do the manga jump off, she was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So it also taught me, like, you got to be with the right-minded people. You got to be with people who have a similar passion and similar goal to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to keep you on the right path. That's going to keep you on the right move. Her first friends wasn't with her manga. They thought it was weird. They was like, yo, you be in the house all day. You doing this. You doing all this manga stuff. Like, yo, that's kind of weird. Like, they was looking at her like she was lame. And this other girl was like, nah, your shit is fire. And it blew up. It blew up because she had the right circle. I never thought I would watch an anime movie that teaches me, like, yo, you gotta be with the right cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not often you see that. Usually you see it like, yeah, if you get the strongest crew, you can beat anybody. No, this was, if you get with the right cats, you bound to go up. If you give it the wrong cats, you bound to Drizam. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so many simple but effective lessons that they were making in this movie that made me love it. And of course, the music is what made me like get real emotional, because it was music that was flowing with the world that they were in, and just the different songs they chose. Like when Fujino found out that somebody really liked her work, and it made her like run home, and they showed a scene where she's running and she's hyped, like, let's go. And then they cut to a scene later with Kiyomoto, for a certain reason that if you see the movie, you'll find out, she does the exact same run. and it hits you. It's those moments that'll hit you because it's like it heightens the emotion of how hyped they are about what's going on in their world. And to me, like that really set the tone, because then they did a montage of them like becoming better friends. Then they did I told you, I'm trying to not cry again. Then they did a montage of them becoming better friends and having a better understanding of each other, but also having a better understanding of the manga business and how they were getting better at it each and every time. And these folks was kids. They was kids. I like to think that the author of this story probably was mimicking some of his life too, most likely. But it was just the fact that it was told in such a way where it was like, it had so many different lessons that I took from that. Especially this one. Don't quit. When Shorty quit doing manga, she didn't know what she was capable of. And if it wasn't, and then out of nowhere, like having Kiyomoto tell her like, your manga is fire, it inspires me to do manga, that spoke volumes to her. Because at the end of the day, somebody's watching us. When I'm doing these videos, I'll be sometimes sitting here like, man, anybody even watching this? And then when I see the numbers that I get, I'll be like, okay, somebody's watching. I got to keep pushing, and one day I'm gonna get really high numbers, and this is going to go somewhere. But you never know if you quit. Sometimes you quit and be like, damn, you never know who like that. When I've done different entertainment, when I've done like comedy and game, like I've hosted game shows and different stuff, you trying to think like nobody's watching, nobody's listening. But you'd be surprised who's really rocking with your stuff. There's an audience there for you. You just gotta wait till they come out. So that's what happened. Shorty came out the crib and was like, yo, you are the one. Like, your manga is fire. You the reason I'm doing manga. And that made Fujino be like, yo, word? That's fire. So it was a lot of elements, and I could spend all day on this. But again, this was a 59-minute film. And the credits, oh my gosh. The music they played during the credits. Oh, Lord. Let the rain fall down my face, because I was crying. It was this movie, I am not making this up, folks. This movie was heavy. It was emotional, but it was what you want in an anime film, especially a slice of life one. This is like, sometimes those moments are key and essential, and they are beautiful. Chef's kiss. I don't really cry a lot on anime. Sometimes I'll cry because of the nostalgia level, like when I watched Dragon Ball Daima, or when I watched One Piece retell the Fishman Island arc. And sometimes I just cry because the story was told in a way that you gotta cry. Like Kotaro Lives Alone, or Your Lie in April. Ooh. Oh, Your Lie in April. Oh, but sometimes it does that. It happens, and you gonna cry. And it's okay to cry. It's just, if you know you're going to ugly cry, just don't see this movie in theaters. That's the main purpose of what I'm trying to say. That's the takeaway. If you know you're an ugly crier, like yours truly, watch this in the crib. It's on Amazon Prime right now. If you know you don't care that people see you ugly crying, watch it in the theater. That's fine. Or you can still do both, whatever. Who cares? But I chose to watch it on Amazon Prime. So as usual, let's go to our tried and true movie rating system, which is valid, which means this movie was great. It's alright, which means it was mid. It was okay. And nah, this ain't it. It means it was trash. I think it goes without saying from what you've been hearing me say this whole video, this movie's valid. It is valid. It is great. I was about a month away from crowning Haikyuu's dumpster battle movie as the anime movie of 2024. But, I feel like this might be it. Unless there's something else that comes out, this Enzo the Cat joint or something else that I didn't see. I know there's a couple of movies I didn't see yet, but I gotta see them. But for right now, those are my top 2 anime movies of 2024. My Hero was cool, don't get it twisted. It was alright, but Haikyuu's movie and this, look back, crazy. These were really good movies. and they didn't tell us later, hey, this is going to be an anime you should watch. No. Look Back was just a quick movie, and I promise you, don't worry about me saying it's going to be emotional, you're going to cry. It's a good movie. It is a good watch. Please check it out. I really do think it's one of the best anime films of the year. Okay? Like I said, I could go on and on and on talking about this, but I just wanted to make that known right here, right now, what I thought about this film. And I appreciate you guys checking this review out. Until next time, we're going to come back with more Nerds in the Hood greatness with your boy Marv. That is me. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace. I'm still thinking about that. Oh, Lord. Kiyomoto, why they take you, girl? Why they take you? Good night, people. Good night. I'm about to ugly cry.